Prince Harry is in the UK for the Invictus Games, but his father, King Charles, will not be meeting with him while he's there. A spokesperson for King Charles' schedule says it's too full and he can't squeeze in a visit. King Charles has been busy since he returned to public duties. Harry is in the UK to mark the 10th anniversary of the Invictus Games, a competition dedicated to wounded and injured veterans. Harry's spokesperson says the Duke understands his father's schedule and he hopes to see him soon. And Harry's brother, Prince William, has a new title. The King appointed his older son as Colonel-in-Chief of the Army Air Corps. The Prince of Wales' new appointment puts him in charge of Harry's former unit. William will officially take over the role with a ceremony next week, May 13th. Joining me now to discuss all things royal is Richard Berthelsen. He's CTV's royal commentator. Good morning to you, Richard.
Good morning, Marcia.
All right, so let's begin with the headline, the news that is not sitting well with many, and that is Prince Harry not being able to see his father while he is in London. Your reaction and your thoughts on this?
Well, I think it's hardly surprising in some ways. Harry's coming in for a specific period of time. Harry's not just there on a holiday. He's got commitments with Invictus. This is a service of thanksgiving, a church service, essentially giving thanks for the work of Invictus over the years since it was established by Prince Harry. And of course, the King has a very immovable schedule as well. And his priority has always been his duty, as it was with his mother. So, there are probably some real scheduling issues in all of that. And of course, we also know that the King is really still on a bit of a reduced schedule and is not going, 12, 18 hours a day as he did before. So it's hardly surprising from that point of view. I would say that, given that we are still just a year plus when the book came out and when the 6-part Netflix documentary came out, to suggest that all of that can have been repaired in that time when Harry is fundamentally not in the United Kingdom in the first place would have been a very hard mountain to climb. And that clearly has not taken place either.
Right. And I was thinking before our conversation about the things Harry had to say about Queen Camilla in that book.
Well, I think this is really the big issue. It's both what he said about Queen Camilla as well as Catherine, the Princess of Wales. So, these are extremely difficult issues for that family to deal with because both the King and the Prince of Wales are extremely loyal to their spouses. And they're probably getting not a lot of encouragement to engage with Harry until there's been some kind of rapprochement. And of course, there's no indication that Harry really understands that he's probably going to have to apologize for that. And I don't know how you even begin to apologize for the level of vitriol that was in those books towards those women, as well as the broader royal family. And the royal family has just continuing on to work, and they're having to work in really strange circumstances. So, I think there are probably some scheduling issues. Maybe it was possible to do. I think the biggest issue here is a question of trust. And the royal family is concerned that conversations that do take place do not make it into the public arena. Conversations that are legitimately private about the health of members of the royal family and other issues. And I think until that has been bridged, I think that was the first place to start with this.
And then, and give me your take on this, is it insult on top of injury that the King appoints to Harry's former unit his brother William?
I think it's an interesting appointment. The fact is Harry's not available for that appointment anymore. He's not
because
a working member of the royal family.
Yeah.
That's right. It's not a possibility. It may have been possible if things have been very, very different. I think that this is, let's remember, William is also a flying prince. He also had extensive experience in helicopters, albeit not in combat, but he also has extensive experience in Air Force related issues and is quite keen to wear the Air Force uniform, actually, on certain occasions. William is carrying out investitures today at Windsor Castle, for example, and I think he is wearing the Air Force uniform. So, he is a natural for that. It's interesting, this backstory. Sometimes things are just coincidences, though. And obviously, I think this was an appointment destined for Harry had he remained in the royal family, much like many other things. But today, for a lot of today, will be a real focus on Invictus, which is one of Harry's biggest achievements as a member of the royal family. He has continued to do that. It'll be interesting to see how many doors remain open to him. Doors were opened extensively for him on Invictus throughout the years. Also going to be interesting to see if any other members of the royal family go to this memorial or celebratory service. I doubt it.
Richard Berthelsen, he is our CTV News royal commentator. Richard, you have given us a lot to think about, and I realize that I am far more cynical than you after this conversation. Thank you so much for being with us on all of this. Appreciate it.